Alright, what's up folks, Rich Fantastic with you, giving you the recap of some of the 1 o'clock games that got on final. We got some just finishing, some that are coming to the end right now. Minnesota 38-30 over the Washington Redskins. Minnesota is now 7-2. Washington drops to 4-5. Case Keenum again, another good game, 21 of 29, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Latavius Murray coming along the last couple weeks running the ball, 17 of 68, that's 4 yards on the dot per carry, 1 touchdown. Jerick McKinnon 10 of 32. The team 31 of 103, 3.3 yards per rush. Adam Thielen, a huge day, 8 receptions, 166 yards, 1 touchdown. Stephon Diggs 4 for 78. Kyle Rudolph 5 of 37. Jarius Wright and David Morgan both had a catch for a touchdown. 7 for Wright, 7 yards for Wright, and a 1-yard touchdown for Morgan. There were no fumbles, only 1 sack. It was Daniel Hunter. Mackenzie Alexander, 1 interception. Marcus Sherrills, 2 kick returns, 57 yards, 28.5 per return, longest of 32, so good average and consistent. Marcus Sherrills, 1 punt return, 9 yards. Kai Forbath, 1 for 1 in his field goals. For the Redskins, Kirk Cousins, 26 of 45, 327 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. See, Cousins throws for a lot of yards, but they were down. They're not running the ball, so you can't really take Cousins' yardage without at least some sort of, grain of salt just to, understand that he puts up big yards because that's the way it's designed. That's just the way it happens. Samaje Perine, top rusher, 9 of 35, 3.9. Chris Thompson, 9 of 26, 2.9. Rob Kelly, 4 of 10. The team, 27 of 81, 3 yards per carry. The 2 touchdowns were Kirk Cousins running. He had 4 rushes for 5 yards. Jamison Crowder, 4 receptions, 76 yards. Vernon Davis, 7 for 76. Maurice Linnell Harris, 2 of 50. He had a touchdown. DJ Swearinger fumbled. It was not lost. No sacks. DJ Swearinger had 2 interceptions, returned them for a combined 32 yards. Chris Thompson, 2 kick returns, 52 yards. Samaje Perine, 1 kick return for 28 yards. Maurice Linnell Harris, 1 for 24. So between 3 guys, they had 4 kick returns of 124 yards. That's 26 yards per return and only a longest of 29. So you had 3 guys very consistent. Only one was Linnell Harris, who had a 24-yard kick return. Everyone else was above 25. There were only 2 kick returns that didn't go above 25 yards, so that's good. Nick Rose 3 for 3 in his field goals. So Washington, look, they got a little bit of a running game. They're still using a variety of guys. It's still not consistent enough, leaving Kirk Cousins back there. Their defense was not able to stop Case Keenum, who was playing very well. That defense allowed some points and yardage late in the game, as you would expect when you have a big lead. So you don't really worry about the 30 points given up in this case. Minnesota is running the ball nicely with Latavius Murray. That's something they got to continue to do, but they are playing very well at this point in the season. Pittsburgh had to come back to beat the Indianapolis Colts. Pittsburgh is now 7-2, 5-1 on the road. Indianapolis drops to 3-7. Indianapolis might have had a shot to keep their season alive. Andrew Luck is officially done for the year. It essentially ended today. Ben Roethlisberger, 19 of 31, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Le'Veon Bell, top rusher, 26 of 80, 3.1 per rush. James Conner, 1 of 12. The team was 30 of 88, 2.9 yards per rush. Juju Smith-Schuster, 5 receptions, 97 yards, 1 touchdown. Antonio Brown, 3 of 47. Martavius Bryant, 3 of 42. Le'Veon Bell, 5 of 32. Vance McDonald, 2 of 16, and the other touchdown. Ben Roethlisberger lost a fumble. The team had 3 sacks. Stephon Tuitt, Bud Dupree, and Vince Williams. Ryan Shazier had an interception. Juju Smith-Schuster, 25-yard kick return. Terrell Watson, an 18-yard kick return. Antonio Brown, 1 punt return for 7 yards. Boswell, 2 for 3, and his field goals also missed an extra point in this game. For the Colts, Jacoby Brissett, 14 of 24, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Frank Gore, 17 carries, 54 yards. That's 3.2 yards per rush. Chester Rogers, 6 receptions, 104 yards, 1 touchdown. Dante Moncrief, 1 of 60, and the other touchdown, T.Y. Hilton, 2 of 23. 1 sack was Hassan Ridgeway. Pierre Desser had an interception. No kick returns. Chester Rogers had 4 punt returns for 17 yards for the longest of 17. So he had 3 punt returns that equated to no yards, and Adam Vinatieri made his only field goal. Indianapolis, look, their defense played well. If they played like this more often this season, they probably would not be in the position there. And Jacoby Brissett doing what he can with that offense, but he's not Andrew Luck. For the Steelers, hey, you got the victory on the road. A lot of trap games this week, so it was something that you would have to worry about with a lot of teams. Detroit was down early to Cleveland as well. We'll do that game in a little bit. Again, they have to find the consistency on offense. Le'Veon Bell, 26 carries, 80 yards. Antonio Brown was basically shut down this game, so usually it's been one or the other. In this case, it was a situation where both guys, Bell and Antonio Brown, the playmakers, struggled. Jets losing a tough game, 15-10 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jets dropped to 4-6. Tampa Bay improves to 3-6. Josh McCown, 23 of 39, 262 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Bilal Powell, top rusher, 10 carries, 30 yards, 3 yards per rush. Elijah McGuire, 8 carries, 22 yards, 2.8 yards per rush. The team altogether 19 of 56, 2.9 yards per rush. Robbie Anderson had 4 receptions for 85 yards, 1 touchdown. Austin Seferian-Jenkins 6 of 67. Elijah McGuire 4 of 36. Bilal Powell lost a fumble. Josh McCown fumbled and recovered a fumble. Leonard Williams had the only sack. Darrell Roberts an interception. JoJo Natson 3 kick returns for 54 yards. That's 18-yard average. Longest of 24, so pretty consistent. And he had 1 punt return that went for minus 2 yards. Chandler Cantazero made his only field goal. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Ryan Fitzpatrick, 17 of 34, 187 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Doug Martin, 20 carries, 51 yards, 2.5 per rush. Charles Sims, 3 for 26.7. The team was 31 of 90, 2.9 yards per rush. Deshaun Jackson, 6 receptions, 82 yards. Chris Goodwin, 5 receptions, 68 yards. Adam Humphries, 2 for 17. Bernard Reedy recovered a fumble. It's not showing any sacks. There were no interceptions. And Bernard Reedy had 3 punt returns for 48 yards. It's not giving me the sack information, so I don't know. One guy may have a sack. Patrick Murray, 3 for 3 in his field goal. So the Jets, look, it's not like Tampa Bay was doing anything that the Jets should have lost this game. I'm checking the team stats right now. Third down, Tampa Bay was much better, 7 of 16 to the Jets, 3 of 15. You got a case here where, where's the penalties? 8 for 77, so 6 of 50. So, basically even. Poor play from both teams. Jets really disappointing. This may have ended their season. Tampa Bay, hey, give them credit for staying alive and getting a win when they were really struggling and turning to Ryan Fitzpatrick in this case. Cleveland losing to Detroit. Detroit is now 5-4. Cleveland drops to 0-9. DeShone Kizer got the start, played pretty well, 21 of 37, 232 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Cody Kessler did come in, 1 of 3, 5 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Isaiah Crowell, top rusher, 16 carries, 90 yards, 1 touchdown. DeShone Kizer, that's 5.6. DeShone Kizer, 7 of 57, 8.1, 1 touchdown. Duke Johnson Jr., 10 of 54. He had 5.4 yards per rush. The team all together 33 of 201, 6.1 yards per rush. This is like the second time that Cleveland's had a very impressive running game like this and not been able to win. Seth DeVale, top receiver, 4 of 70. Kenny Britt, 2 of 38, 1 touchdown. Semi-Coach, 2 of 38. Rashad Higgins, 4 of 34. Seth DeVale lost a fumble. 4 sacks, 2 for Emmanuel Ogbah, 1 for Joe Schobert, 1 for Kristen Kersley. Jamie Collins Sr. had an interception. Matt Days, 1 kick return, 22. Jabril Peppers, 1 of 13. 2 punt returns by Jabril Peppers for 11 yards. Zane Gonzalez, 1 for 1 in his field goals. For the Lions, Matt Stafford, 17 to 26, 249 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Detroit did run the ball pretty well today, 11 of 52, 4.7 yards per rush by Amir Abdullah. Theo Riddick, 4 of 35, 8 of 8. Matt Stafford, 4 of 17, 4.3. The team was 19 of 104, that's 5.5 yards per rush, and Abdullah's touchdown. Golden Tate, 6 receptions, 97 yards. Kenny Golladay, 2 of 64. Eric Ebron, 2 of 39. And a touchdown for Tate, touchdown for Ebron. Theo Riddick had 3 catches for 12 yards and the other touchdown. Nevin Lawson recovered a fumble. 4 sacks. 2 by Cornelius Washington. 1 by Anthony Zettel. 1 by Tavon Wilson. Darius Slay had an interception. Jamal Agnew, 4 punt returns, 56 yards, 14 yards per return, longest of 29, however, inflating the numbers. Matt Prater 1 for 1 in his field goals. Look, we talked about this game. Cleveland scored more points than I would have expected, but it went the way I thought it would. Detroit would have a bit of a letdown. You have a trap game in this situation. You're playing the Cleveland Browns. You can't help it. They did respond, and they basically blew. I mean, they were down 10-0 and then outscored them 38-14. Cleveland is just god-awful. There's no sense even talking about them. It was evident at the end of the first half. They couldn't even get points when they're inside the 5. They ran a quarterback sneak from like the 3-yard line and couldn't spike it. I thought Detroit was holding players on it, keeping them on the ground to let the clock run out. It wasn't called, but regardless, Cleveland is just bad. Detroit finding the running game. We'll be back in a little bit to finish up with the 1 o'clock games. Remember, we appreciate all subscriptions. Thank you.